So I'm trying to find a load of bases for another project, so I don't have to print loads because it'll just take too long. I found a project I was working on a while ago, which I will crack on with at some point, which is my boys. I'm trying to be productive. I've been in this paralysis mode. I've been stun locked, if you like. This usually happens when I overthink a project. This often includes making purchases for said project. I just don't want to waste money, and I don't want to hoard stuff because I wasted money. So what I've been looking for is essentially the cork bases I use for my hand sculpted stuff are quite small, and they've been fine so far. But now, since I'll be making some water horses, they're just a bit too small. I did for this thing, which I'm still working on, my Hooble Gooble idol. I ended up just taping two of the small ones together. It's fine for this. So I've been trying to find some cork that is the right size and also doesn't cost a stupid amount of money, because it's just cork at the end of the day. What I also do is top these corks with a little bit of epoxy. This is brown stuff on this one, and I'm running out, and I don't want to use Magic Sculpt or Milliput because when it cures it's very, very hard, and I think I want a little bit of flexibility. Brown stuff is harder than green stuff, but there is like just a little bit of flex. I do want to buy some more brown stuff, but I also basically have no green stuff left, and what I do have is just crusty and nasty. I have ended up buying some green stuff. Hopefully it comes nice and fresh and isn't crusty. I've done it now and I can move on. While I wait for the new stuff to arrive, I felt like making some progress with my hobby stuff. So what I'm gonna do today is basically get all of my goblins prepped for priming. I have this start collecting box of Gitz. Weirdly, it doesn't have the, what are they called? Stabbers and whatever the other ones are. I have built two of the trolls and the squigs. I was using the squigs just to try out some contrast paint mixes and gradients. This was when I first got some contrast paints. And I like the idea of having some rainbow squigs anyway. I think I'm gonna paint over them, but we'll see. I still like the idea of them being multicolored. I've also got the Dankhold Troggoth, which also makes the boss guy. And in this unmarked box is Mollig as well, which was the large troll from Underworlds. I've got the Ripper's Snarlfangs box, already built one of them here. Grincrack's Loon Court, which I haven't built any of yet. And I've forgotten what they're called. I got these secondhand. These guys, I mean, they're goblins. What do you want me to say? Zarbag's Gitz, that's what they're called. For the squig herder, I've got some options. I obviously picked the bagpipe mushroom guy. But here's the bagpipes, and here's this thing, like that. It goes in there. And it's like, why? How it's made logistically, I know this will just make sense to whoever designed the sprue, but I like being able to get to the painting phase really quickly. Customized miniatures and kit bashing with lots of little bits. That's fun. This is not fun. What is that? It occurred to me that the way I could motivate myself to actually getting these done is to basically not care. But I mean that in a positive way. I am hacking these mold lines off. I am doing a terrible job at tidying these things up, but I don't really care. Whatever. In the process of doing this, I have discovered that from the rock gut troggers, yep, that's what they're called, their kit, I have 3 sets of arms and chests. Also quite a few head options. I could get 3 more trolls out of this. The belly is going to be a really easy part to sculpt, and the legs, they're quite small. I think I can get away with knocking out some imitation legs. But also the, forgetting what they're called, the dank boys, the moist boys, don't say that again. You can create the boss guy and the regular guy. This is what they share between them. This, which is most of the miniature, to be fair, but there's loads left on the sprue, and stop giving yourself more work. I'm gonna make another one. I've already started 3D printing some more bases, which if you're looking for some bases you can 3D print. These are free. They were on my old website, but I don't actually think I put them on my new one. So by the time this goes up, hopefully I will have remembered. But if you go to my website and look for the free stuff bit, which I will add, you can just download a pack of bases, if that's helpful. Games Workshop 60mm bases are not 60mm, they're like 64 point something. The ones I've made are actually 60mm, so if you want it to match, just scale it up a little bit. I don't know if I can get 4 troll bodies hand sculpted today. Probably not. I did order some green stuff though, so I will have the materials to work with at least. Oh yeah, I forgot about Mollig. For some reason, I thought Mollig was a lot bigger, because I thought this was a dank boy as well. Anyway, I think I'm going to count him as just a normal stone boy. In which case, he's a bit too shroomy. This might be a bit controversial. I'm not a big fan of the overly shroomy nature of these guys. There's just a lot of mushrooms, and I know it's a core element of their aesthetic. If I reduce the amount of mushroom stuff, then maybe I can make these wolf riders like fit in a little bit more. What this means is I'm going to have to demushroom this guy and create some extra rock texture on him just so he fits in better. But the dank boys are just, they're too mushroomy as well. So I might have to either make them stony or maybe make them hairy. Maybe. That's a big job. Oh yeah, I remember in the previous video I said how I wanted to be a purist with my goblins. I didn't want to convert, change anything. So that's a lie, I guess. I'm going to change a lot. Right, so this is my thought process. I have these torsos with arms, and I've got some high density foam here. I'm going to take this foam, cut bits off, jam it into the gaps in here, and use that as a foundation to shove armature wire. For this troll, I'm not going to build the rest of it yet. I'm going to keep this as a reference. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I just make a mold of those legs and then I could have as many as I wanted? Well, where's the fun in that? I feel like if I sculpt these guys from scratch, they'll feel unique. I'll get a better sense of satisfaction out of finishing them, better sense of pride. Yeah, this looks awful. I had to stretch the green stuff with the milliput, and it really was on its last legs, really crumbly. I had to work it for ages. I can't use it to actually sculpt properly, but the core of it is there anyway. The rest of it that I'd mixed, I just used a block of it to put in place for this armature, which will be the other moist Troggoth. I've got some green stuff coming tomorrow, so I can finish the rest with that, and the magic sculpt I have, which I really like working with. I honestly don't really like using milliput. Every time I get milliput, it is crumbly and nasty. It's got this thick skin on it, and it might be because whenever I buy it, it just happens to be old stock, but I've never had nice fresh milliput. Also, it gets everywhere. My hands just get coated in stuff. Magic sculpt doesn't give me that issue. It kind of like when you start to mix it, it does come off on your skin a little bit. Then the more you mix it, it like picks it back off your skin. It's just more expensive, I guess, but I really like using it. Alright, so I converted Mollig from a mushroom boy into a bit of a stony boy. I've used up all the epoxy that I mixed. I think I will probably add a bit more because on the stone gut Troggoths, it goes all the way down their back and along their arms. The club is like super mushroomy, so I think I'm going to totally cover this and just make it into a wood texture. Keep it simple. So this is an actual hobby vlog for once, because I actually got some stuff done instead of just talking about getting stuff done. It would have been nice to have completed all these trolls. I didn't originally plan to do all this sculpting and doubling the amount of trolls I have. Why do I do this? I only have myself to blame. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling productive. If you've not seen my previous video, I show my own troll that I sculpted, and I have 2 more poses. Hopefully I'll finish another troll this month. Alright, I'm gonna go. Love you, bye.